Hello, everybody. Get this thing going. Can you hear me? Hello. All right, let's see. My mic is working. I'm recording. All right. Can someone say hello?
What up, Ronbo?
There we go. Okay, it's working. Just wanted to make sure. Um, Very interesting day. Friday for the spy, that's for sure. Um, it just went way off the chart. Fun day. Oh, what do you guys got?
I don't have anything. I'm just here to listen.
Well, you can still ask questions, as far as reading charts or, trading strategies. It doesn't have to, if you don't have a question about a ticker or something, that's no big deal. I just don't want it quiet in here. Agan 6227. You gotta mute your mic.
Oh, right. Might been doing.
All right. Karen, you gotta mute your mic. Karen. All right. She doesn't know how to mute her mic, maybe. um, all right, guys, shoot away.
I'll take the spy.
You'll take the spy. All right. What do you want to know about it?
What's going to happen next week?
Well, yeah, I didn't get my homework done last night, so don't necessarily know right offhand right now. It's kind of hard to see what I'll do here for the spy. Now, right here, we're right smack in the middle of support and resistance here, or whatever you want to call it. Usually when it came, I got puts here and it should work its way back down, kind of like here. It came down, came up. We've just been bouncing around in this area. Um, I'll show you what's really going on. Let's see. I'll just take this one. I think it is. So we're fighting between the 20. This is the 50 moving average right here. Here's the 20, and here's the 200. So the bearish move is really trying to push back through the 200 to start its work to work its way down. Um, right now, like I said last Monday, that I thought we were going to have a good week, and it it was really, Monday and Tuesday. I thought, we would have blue days and then come down. That's what happened. But it couldn't break through the 200. Um, so we might see coming back up to a retest. Um, this move right here. I thought I had my Fibonacci's on here. This is from the bigger one, and of course it perfectly hit the 38.2. But just from this move right here, I want to see if we stay under the 403. This is the big one right here, 407.17. We might get back up to that area. I'm not concerned that Amana. All right. So we have to hold this area right here, which I think we're going to. I expected some of my other market indicators were pointing that we'll probably retest this area right here. Because we recaptured the 20, now it's probably going to try to come back up to the 50, which the 400 area, and then get rejected. So, but right now on the daily, depending on what happens Monday, that's why I'm not really sure what's really going to happen right now. We're kind of an indecision right here because we're just fighting between this area. Um, so I'm gonna relax on it and wait wait for an extreme. We come up here, I'm gonna be getting puts again in this area. Um, that's what I'm waiting for. Um, and then we'll see if it comes back down and it breaks and stays under this. Especially here's the money line right now on the 1 year daily. That had the most volume, and if you notice, it can't get underneath that. So we'll wait and see what happens. Um, so yeah, it's kind of an indecision week for me right now. Speaking of which, just go to the weekly. Why do I have that on here? Let's see what this is. Oh, okay, I fibbed this whole move right here. So we're just working over, bounce right off the 50, which makes sense. Clear that up. Um, I'm going to switch this around. Sorry, guys, but get my homework done. Um, so here's the golden pocket right here for right now. We just been hanging out here. This is over the bigger move here on the monthly. So yeah, again, just no matter what chart I look at, it's just right now that there's really not too much going on. So um, we're just smack dab in the middle of everything. There isn't going to be anything really big until uh, we cross over right here, probably the 404 mark. But then I'd be really careful because this was a bull trap, that was a bull trap, that was a bull trap, and we could be setting up for another one right here. Um, so and then yeah, that's it. I'm just waiting for it to break and hold over the 50, or come back down and retest uh, the the 200. So can't help you with that one right now. Um, Stochastics are going up, so we have to see and wait what happens here. But it did come over the 20, so there's momentum here. So we'll see if they try to push it back up into this area again. But overall, the large market indicators that I use, uh, we're still bearish. So I'm waiting to see if we have another. Uh, and that's just not going to happen on the SPX. So, but right now, on the slow still, it's going up. So it's just right now it's really hard to read. The price is going down. This had a triple bottom, so again, that was another indicator where I knew that we were going to be coming up, and that's what happened. But now, because of where we are, we're just smack dab in the middle of everything. So it's too hard to read right now.
Hey, Ronbo, can I jump in now?
Yeah, you guys don't. Yeah, don't be so polite. Just say, hey, what about this? That way.
Well, first of all, I want to say good morning to all you guys. Hope you guys weekend's starting off well. It goes well.
Yeah.
I wanted to know about VORB. Had a good day yesterday. I want to know if it will continue. It looks like it's poised for a pop.
What is it?
VORB.
VORB. Oh, yeah, Virgin Orbit. Yeah. Yeah, I never looked at this ticker before. Definitely, definitely going down here. Biker for life. Can you mute your mic, please? So, um, all right. Pretty new. Um, we're still well below the 20 here. Did have a buy signal on here. I'm gonna get out of this chart though. Yeah, we definitely had a big run up, that's for sure, on the daily, or on the minute chart. Uh, we do have a nice, well, we did have a nice deviation right here. Uh, um, we're starting to turn on the MACD. Um, that's looking pretty good. Slow, still, we're trying to break out here. I don't. Sometimes deviation plays. You get a little pop and it comes down. This is a pretty good size one. But we could be out right here. I don't know, or done with this move. But right now, it's just a second, guys. A man at 2016. Mute your mic, please. Um, for me, we're under a downtrend. So it's just here is support. Let me get this up here. Yeah, support here, support there, support here. So it's starting to turn, but this could just be keep going down. I doubt it. I mean, zero's right here, so there's going to be some kind of a turn here somewhere. But um, I don't. This is too steep for me. It's too overextended. I would really like to see a move where it starts to flatten out before it breaks the downtrend. It could just come back up here and then come all the way back down to 34, and do something like that. But are you in it?
No, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, see how we're going down, and all of a sudden here's this steep incline right here. So 80 cents, and you would have a 45-cent stop right here. That's a 50% stop.
Yeah,
That's crazy. So I me personally, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would wait for some kind of a pullback to this trend line. Um, so you could set a trend here on the daily chart and see what happens here. But we haven't even crossed over yet. We're still red on the MACD. So the histogram, it is starting to gain some strength. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that are wanting to play this gap, and look what happened. It got right to that resistance and broke down. So um, if it does come back down to this trend, that'd be a good place to get into, because you just set your stop right underneath it. And if it breaks, well, then you get stopped out and just let it, play itself out again. Um, but that would be nice. It'd be better for the stock because the trend would be a lot less steep. But we'll wait and see what happens with it. But if it continues, on this trend, well, then uh, if it comes down and meets one more time and kisses off of it, like I said, I'd get in, and then I'd be very wary of of this the overall major trend line here, because it could just be kissing off of that. It could go to whatever, $1.20, $1.40, and then it could just continue down this trend line. I wouldn't be looking for anything long term. Now, I'm not saying get out once it hits that trend line, because if it breaks, then you have some longer term. It still could come back down after it breaks the trend line. It could come down quite a bit, back to where it is right now. But then eventually, you could set another longer term, less steep trend line, and then feel a lot better, right here than right here. So, but yeah, for me, it's a little overextended right now.
Okay, thank you for your time. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Um, what about HUBC, Hub C?
HUBC or DC? HUBC.
B is in boy.
Uh, and the money line's right here. 214. Got a sell signal here. $2 to get to 215. That's it's not that great. You guys are throwing out some new tickers here. Yeah, the money. The really important money line for the month is 206. So if we stay below 206, it looks like it's trying to consolidate right here, and build a range. I did do homework on this a long time ago. That's interesting. So it broke this downtrend here. And I do have this trend line right here, so I must have set it right here, or I did it back here earlier. I don't know, sometime in March. So, but this is what I'm saying. See, a steep down. This wasn't too bad of a trend right here. So it 174. You could have gotten in, played at the 333. I probably would have put in on this move right here, I would have, had that trend line right here. And once that trend broke, I probably would have gotten out. But now it broke this trend right here, still above this trend line. So not that bad of a area to get into. It's still a little too high for me. Here's the trend line. What you want to do is you want to get in at support. Okay, now there's two different ways you could look at it, and they're both equally important. One I think is better is the actual trend line support versus horizontal support. But remember, no matter what, support and resistance is only works until it doesn't. So, it's bouncing around from $1.90 to 230. So, if you look at it that way, that's still quite a bit. You're still, far away from 187. What are we at now? 194. If you want, you could get in right here, and maybe have this area as a stop loss 187 or so. Um, this right here, this line is the anchored VWAP to the FOMC, which is usually quite important. It's under that. It's under the money line here. So usually you're going to be more bearish on it than bullish. So yeah, if it breaks if it breaks 207, you can play it up to 232. And then I'd be very wary right here once it got to around 230 area. You might want to put in a tighter stop. And if it takes out, you might get stopped out, and then it hits over the 232 area right here. Then get back in with the stop at 230. But it's just ranging right now, so it's down, up, down, up, down. Until usually, I mean, this line, you could eventually get back to this trend line out here before it might make some kind of a move up or move down. So kind of in a rough area right here, because this is major resistance right here. You have the Powell anchored VWAP, and the money line is right here. So once it breaks above that, it should do quite well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Morning, Ronbo.
Hello,
Can
can
you
you
hear me?
do?
Hello? Yeah, someone
Hello?
asked me about something. Yeah, I hear you.
Would you look at SLND?
FLND.
S like Sam?
Got a divergence pattern here. Oh, it hit the money line. It's been in a really nice trend up, but yeah, you're looking at steep up. This wasn't that bad of a move considering how steep that went. But again, I think we're pretty overextended here. I mean, there's your primary support, secondary support. So, yeah, we're getting. This is going to be kind of rough. So at least on the monthly chart here, we're butting heads. Definitely a move up, but this is going to be really tough to break at 890. At least on the monthly. Let me go back to the bigger charts where I should be starting anyways. Oh my goodness gracious. that's just brutally ugly. I boy, I wouldn't touch that thing to save my life. Um, it did have a nice divergence right here, but well, technically, no, it's not a divergence. So, but well underneath the zero line here, so it's I it's it's not that great of a move. Um, I wouldn't trust it at least until it breaks this downtrend and comes back to one of these two other support levels. Way overextended. Um, yeah, how old is this thing? Yeah, it's only a couple years old. Um, yeah, when I see a stock that dives down that much, uh, it's I'm just not going to mess with it. I
Okay.
know the bottom feeding idea, trying to get 50%, but I'd rather find a good stock that's in an uptrend and get 50% um, in a couple months versus trying to do this, because as soon as you're up 40%, then boom, it drops 60%. So that's just really dangerous. Especially now, it's pretty overextended. Again, money lines right here. But if it breaks this downtrend, if you're in it, you could just put a really conservative that trend line right here. As long as it stays above that, that's fine. But you're coming up against trend resistance and horizontal resistance, so I wouldn't be surprised to see if this comes back down. But yeah, see here's for the trading range, you're way up here. So I wouldn't be surprised for it now to this week to have it come back down into the mid 70 range.
Okay. And can I ask you to look at one more ticker, TGTX, please?
Oh, starting to lose a little bit of momentum here, but we're definitely getting close to breaking the zero on this. Yeah, this is one of my call outs here.
Yes.
Why is this looking so weird? Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay. So this was the nice move. This is where I called it out at 750. It was somewhere. Yeah, right here. This is what you want to look at. It breaks under or over the major downtrend line. And I was concerned about this. This was a little too steep for me. And actually, we still might come back down to this area right here for the major support. That would be really nice. I know I had some other, I had a trend line right here, and that was the stop. So you definitely should have been out in the 16s. But we're getting close to getting down to this trend line right here. And if we, that would be. See, people are like, Ron, I thought you said you don't buy in in a downtrend. This is an uptrend. All right, we're in an uptrend right now. This is called buying the dips.
You got a
Right.
Comcast email.
So, sorry about that. And the thing is, with buying the dips on the uptrend, is usually it bounces off of the support. So if it comes back down here, you buy in, and it breaks that support, then you just get out and you lose a little bit of money. Big deal. If it recaptures the trend line, you get back in it. So right now we're in this downtrend right here, and we'll see what happens when it gets down to this area. You know, the 1370 up to the 1470 area. This just might be consolidating. We're still above the money line here. It looks like this is getting support. It's starting to gather strength on the daily. So we'll wait and see what happens. But the way this looks, we're actually getting a divergence pattern here too, setting up. Yeah, the price is going down and the strength is getting stronger. So I wouldn't be surprised for it to try to kiss this down this trend line right here and then bounce up and make the next move up. So
Okay.
We still have this bull pattern here, and this is just setting up. Maybe the cup, if I do remember, this went a little bit too far down though. Well, as long as it stays above the 38.2, this is still considered the cup and handle is still in play. So
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. But see, this is a lot of the stuff I see on Stock Chat and stuff, and you're like, oh man, this is so low right here. You got to buy the dip. Well, if you scalp it, but a lot of hype gets into this stuff and they hold, thinking it's they got their sights up here, and then boom, this happens. Oh, buy the dip. Boom, buy the dip. Boom, right? Where the uptrend, buy the dip. Oh, we go up. Buy the dip. Oh, we go up. And you might be doing that for 2 years. My example is right here. This started with a 2 week swing. I got in at 449. And I played it all the way up to, I think I got out at 44 or something. My final exit. I don't have all my, there's my last buy right here at 35.74, and I played it up to 44 or something. So that took a year and a half. But I made a total of 700 and some percent on it. So you don't know what is going to happen, but that's why you always want to look at the larger charts to see overall what's going on, or to get the context of, hey, which way is this going? And when I played it up to here and it dipped and it broke right here, then I think that's when I really started to play it from the weekly chart. I was looking at this once a week, and it was one of the easiest trades I ever made. Easy 700%. So TRKA, I'm not saying that's that's going to do that, but You don't know. If it just continue if it continues up, this is how AR started. It was just a nice incline, but nothing's really going to happen until we get over the. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's the other one I was looking at too. But we'll wait and see what happens with it. But if it starts breaking these major levels at 80, well, more specifically the buck 25, and stays above these trend lines, and this could do really well. But again, that's in mind in a bearish. See, AR when I was in it, that was that was still a real strong bullish market. Right now, we're still in a bullish market, but we're in a a correction phase. So that's all. But so you always have to keep that in mind. Another one was TXTG, I think is the other one was, or TGTX. There we go. Yeah, this is it right here. This could easily, we're just at $16. This looks just like AR to me. Right now, I'm still up, 100% on this. I'm not the first one in. I'm not the first one out. I don't care about that. First one in gets you in trouble. Bag holding. So, yep, I don't get in right away. I get in at a higher price. But also, I'm not the first one out either. Why? Because as long as it stays above these trends, I'm buying right here. I'm not selling right here. I'm buying right here. And if it breaks, then I get out. My position's done, and I still made 100%. Now I gave back a little bit, but there's where the art is as far as buying, and if it comes up, then you made a better choice, and then it comes back down here and you buy, instead of you're out here and then you start seeing it rip again, and then you're, oh my goodness, I'm going to get in right here, and then it dips and you're like, oh, I'm going to get out, now I'm bag, you're bag holding all the way up instead of making money on the way up. See, you're selling, you're buying here, selling here, buying here, selling there. You're buying. That's FOMO buying. That's just the exact opposite of what you should be doing in an uptrend. You guys got, a lot of you guys have the right idea of buying the dips, but you're doing it on the wrong side of the trend. Alrighty.
Yo, Ron, could you check out ticker for me? B loan.
That is what I'm here for. Just a second. Holiday. From now on, don't put it in your questions in the stock chat. Put it in the voice 2 thread. Okay. Yeah. What do you want me to look at?
V loan, VLON.
Oh, another gap gamble. Well, on the daily, this is Not that bad of a time to get in. I
I got
like
in
I
yesterday.
like.
Yeah.
Oh, did ya? Great.
I
So
seen.
it still might come down a little bit more. It could very well easily break this downtrend. I put this trend line on here. This is an important one.
I
J
basically got the same trend, and I was thinking get out if it breaks and just get in at a lower price if it does.
Yeah, because most likely if it breaks this downtrend, it's coming back down to this one. And at this rate, it will hit that downtrend by June, mid June. But if it bounces off of this trend line, I mean, we are you're setting up higher highs. Here's the lows right here, but then boom, you got a high. Boom, you got a high. Boom, you got a high. Um, Here you had, here's the bottom right here, because here's the bottom as we're going lower and lower and lower, right? But now we have your high and another high, or low, a higher low, higher low. Now we'll see where this is. If the low is right here, then you're probably looking at another pop.
All right.
Now what you also want to do, it's not a science, but here we had a pop up in April. Is that April 21st? Pop up in June, 2 months away. Funny, August, 2 months away, but then, well, October, 2 months away. December, 2 months away.
Oh,
February, 2 months away.
thank you for pointing that out, Rombo. I didn't even think about that. Thank you for
Oh,
pointing that out.
yeah, you always, well, experience. I learned that, well after, I first started trading. I mean, 5, 6 years, of seeing. Like I said, it's not an exact science. Here you're playing a waiting game, and you're like, okay, 2 months away. So what we're at February 10th. So now you're going, okay, April 10th. This thing somewhere around there. This is gonna bust out. So I'm not gonna get in yet. I think it's gonna go lower, and then next thing you know, it only a month out it pops. So. But wow, this is pretty accurate so
This is a
far.
Patrick fact, by the way. Pat told me about this.
Oh, then I definitely wouldn't get into it, man.
I'm a little cautious.
No, he's a good man. He does a lot of good things. So, but yeah, this is kind of like clockwork right here. I mean, look at how evenly spaced out the pops are. So, yeah, you guys might want to take a look at VLAN. It definitely has rounded. It's nice and smooth. Now, right here it wasn't, but that's why I say it goes from nice and smooth to a pop up like that. I'll
Mhm.
get this. This is a poopy chart, right?
I
So you
don't
got,
mind playing this.
huh?
I don't mind playing the splash.
Yeah, there. That's perfect. I'm gonna steal that from you. So, yeah, we're in the splash right here. So, not that bad of a place to get in because, again, a nice smooth uptrend. And we're in an uptrend, so this is a great time to get into it.
All right. I just wanted to know if you were seeing the same thing I was, and I guess we're seeing the same thing.
Yeah, but that it definitely could tank back down to 28 cents, but you have to play the trend lines. So if as long as it stays above this trend line, well, heck, even this one. But now, see, if it breaks this trend line, I'm not going to hold all the way down here.
Hmm.
I'm going to get out. I'll get stopped out and wait for it to come down here. Or if it doesn't, it gets close and comes back up and gets above this trend line again, then, I might get back into it and use this for a stop again.
Okay.
Right?
I just got it for now, so I'm just kind of watching to see what it does.
Yeah. Horizontal wise, you got support at 37 cents. So,
Yeah, I played that last pop, that 37 cents. What was it, 60 or something like that? Yeah, I got in that last time, and I'm
oh,
thinking about it again.
yeah. I tend to look for, I don't really trade my, penny stocks by the day, intraday trading. I just, you might as well, with that volatility, you might as well just, play options on the SPY instead of making 20% or 50%. You're making, 400% with the same action. um, but yeah, for me, I play on the dailies because this is then you don't have to babysit it every 5 seconds, and you're getting in a good area right here, and then you just set a stop loss and let it go, because then you'll eventually if you're in it, then boom. If you're not in it, you're waiting. It starts to go and you get FOMO and you get in right here. Well, you missed, quite a bit of the move. Um, but this is getting kind of close. It's a downward wedge, which is bullish 78% of the time, and we're getting close. It's going to make a decision by the 29th.
I
Which
think
is
that there's supposed to be earnings coming up. I believe Monday. That's what Pat was saying, something like that.
I don't have anything on the chart as far as earnings, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like the chart. I usually, most of Pat's stuff, when he tells me about him, I'm like, ew, that's ugly. But this one isn't. This one's really, really nice. Doesn't guarantee then it's going to happen, but boy, oh boy, you got a lot of. See, when
Hmm.
I trade, guys, and you should do this too, not just because I do it, but it's just the standard. The best traders always do this. You're always looking for reasons not to take the trade. You don't look for reasons to get into it. You look for reasons to not get into it. For me, downtrend, uh, you know, uh, bearish divergence or something. I'm looking for all kinds of things under certain VWAPs and things like that. Um, and for me, uh, this one is hard not to get into right here. That's what you want. You want to buy low, sell high. Well, the trend line support is a low. It's not the lowest low, and horizontally, you're looking at 20 cents. But as far as the trend lines are concerned, this is looking awfully tasty right here.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate this.
Um. Someone. Oh yeah. Holiday wanted me to look at SI real quick. In a downtrend. big divergence though. Oh my goodness. But again, this divergence here, 51 up to 62. Oh, it's a little 20% pop there, I think. 23%, yeah. So this might only be a 23% pop. Yeah, there's a gap. Okay. But that gap might not fill for another 3 years. Nice divergence pattern. Histogram is starting to turn over, but you could scalp it up to the downtrend line again, and then I would wait for it to break, and then you don't get in. A lot of guys are poor. Yeah, it broke the downtrend. I'm going to get in. That we're on the way up. And they get in right here, right after it breaks a downtrend, and then it does one of these things, and it comes back under, right? And then that's called straddling. There's quite a few tickers, and once you get to know them, you know which ones they are. Okay, this doesn't. But man, this hit 1, 2, 3 times already. So this is a really strong downtrend. So, but what you want to do is you want to wait for it to break. You want to wait for a dip and then come back up and break the previous. Okay, so that's where you want to be in right there. Because you get in here, we break the downtrend. Okay, it comes back down, starts to come back up. You can get in right there, and that would be your stop loss. Why? Because it could just come back down again and straddle, and you're back under the downtrend, and then you're holding bags. Okay, but your best strategy is, I don't know, wherever the moving average is, is kind of like this, or whatever. It breaks it breaks a downtrend. You're above the moving average. It comes back. It dips. You could be in right there, or more conservatively, you get in after it breaks that high right there. You're in right there, and then you're buying at the dips. Once it breaks that high right here, you move your stop loss to there, comes back up, dips, buy more there, move your stop loss up to there. See, that's how you protect your gains, and you're adding to your position on the way up. So yeah, I mean, if you get it comes down, you're like, man, that's a lot that I'm giving back. But if you look, you were in from way down here, and you're adding to your position. That's how you buy the dips. But yeah, there's a gap to be filled. But like I said before, those gaps might not be filled for years. Good example of that is GoTo. There's a big gap up there. I played it a couple years ago. And I can't remember what it was at, $4, $6, I think, and now it's down to pennies, I think. Still has that gap to fill. But yeah, this is too soon for me. I just, yeah, this looks just like GoTo. It's about the same price too. Well, but there is a divergence here, so there's some pressure building. We did have the histogram has changed. Now it's under the zero line, but stochastics were still very, very, bottomed out. You're at 8.7. So not bad, but one candle doesn't make a trend change unless you're trading it from the hourly chart or something like that. Um, Now, just on this move, it's broke the downtrend. So you might see one of these things. You definitely could do that. I highly doubt it's going to fill this gap anytime soon. It's got to break this downtrend before probably it does that. Let me look at this at we'll go to the monthlies here. Oh, geez. Oh boy, the money line. Not on the highest candle, but pretty close to it. I wouldn't trust it. Yeah, scalping wise, this is just big move up, big move up, big move up, tank, 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 tank. Bigger move up. We're starting around, so maybe this is just a dip right here. Wow, the trend line is just insane. Yeah, this is too volatile for me. This could easily just come back down as fast as that move went up. Yeah, on the trading range, look, see it hit the high right here, just like it did over here, double top. Double tops usually are not good. So I can see this coming back down to the dollar range before it does something else. For a 5-day swing, for the month long, where's the bottom? Oh, we're smack dab in the middle of the trading range here. So, oh geez, this is so bad. It's in the negatives for the trading range. Can't go by that. Let's look at it from the deviations here. Okay, we're right on the average. For the weekly, for the monthly, we're right at the average price. So it likes to pop up to the at least the half deviation lately. Let's see where it broke there and goes down to the -1. It comes up. It tried to touch. It touched the +1 on the monthly. And the monthly is the big thick ones. So it has a chance to really pop, but and let's see that the squiggly lines are the weekly deviations. Usually, again, I don't get into anything where the deviations on the weekly deviations are going down. Just don't do it. But if it breaks and hold, here's the monthly. This is really important. If it could hold above 148, okay, it might start making a move up to at least a half deviation. Now right now it's at 816, but look, it's going down every week. So the week before that it was 974. Now it's 822. After next week it could be 651, and then 550. So this might bounce and get up to 550 in a couple weeks, and then just continue back down to the average price again. So it's kind of the first mouse, scenario, at least on the daily chart. Okay, here's that monthly right here. The deviations I have, they overlap each other. We're looking at 1874 to go to there, but here's the one I was talking about right here, 822. This is not on the daily, but this is the 6 month deviation. The plus one is at 560. So. But yeah, as long as it holds over the the monthly deviation at 118, it has a chance to move up. Also, wow, even these are in the negatives. If this just broke under. Still above the zero line though, so that's good. So we'll wait and see. It really hasn't been. Look at that. It hasn't been in positive territory for forever.
I joined kind of late, but have you already covered SPY?
That's the first thing we did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, it's okay. Just because it's pretty simple. Right now, we're smack dab in the middle of everything. We could easily go up or down. So I'm just, I got out of my 340s quite a while ago, and I'm waiting to see which way it's going to go. We could go back up to 304 range. We bounced right off the monthly here. Speaking of the deviations here, so the 1 year plus one sigma is 404. This is the important. This is a half deviation. This gray line right here, gray dotted line on the daily time chart. So here's the average price. This is the first sigma up, and these are like magnets. So as you see, once it breaks, it goes to the next one up. And if it breaks down, then it's probably coming back down. But if it breaks up to the upside, now going by Fibonacci's, this is a big Fibonacci level right here at 398.48. If it breaks that, then probably most definitely we're going back to the 404 range. But I mean, we just been, what is going on right here is on the SPY is just been fighting over the 391 area and just bouncing back and forth. So this is only the last month here. So but it's really been fighting over this Fibonacci level and staying below it. So, but if we break above that, then yeah, we're looking at getting close to the first sigma on the daily, weekly, and the monthly, and then I think that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for it to get up into this range right here, or again, I'm waiting for it to break, the 395 level to at least come back down to 391. If it breaks 391, then we're definitely going to the mid 380s again. Which in the long term scenario so far, all my market indicators are still bullish or bearish. I'm sorry. So, we break especially when we break the 385, then we're coming down. And personally, I think we're going to get down to the 2 sigma on the daily, negative 2 sigma. There's the 340 range right here. But this is what the banks look at, the deviations. They all go by, some don't say deviation, they say sigma, like U.S. Bank. If you go on their website, they'll say, the market's at, 0.5 sigma, positive sigma. So that's the big fancy name for it, that they call them sigmas. So, but right now, boy, look at that. You could just easily played, 391 up to 398, get out, get puts down to 391, get calls at get calls at 391, get puts at 398. You could still do that right now. And obviously it takes patience, if you're not doing ODTs, but see right here, usually there's a fight. Once it breaks, see here, it hits, gets rejected, and then breaks through. Very, very common. And then usually, it broke here, came back down, hit, and then it just took off. And that's what it's trying to do right here. That could have been the retest right here. It looks like, it did it twice. So, but this is after hours garbage. So, yeah. So we're just for long term right now. For my 340s, I'm waiting to see where the high is to get back in. But see what people, I call them perma bulls, just no matter what. Oh, no, now we're going to be going up once we get past here. And they're not looking at the big picture. Because everybody just like me, the smart money's been selling. They wait till it comes up because, see, you got to remember, big money doesn't trade like retail. They've had money. Okay, really, here's the smart money, the 20-year monthly. Okay, so let's say this is a minute chart, and you see a big move up like this, and then it starts to come down. You're selling in this area. Even down here, right? They're not selling down here. They're waiting for, they started selling here. It's a long story short that these have changed a little bit, but this is 1.5 sigma up. I called this right here. Called it all the way down here because the big money started selling. It's overextended. So this is a correction. That's all that it is. But the smart money is waiting for a pop up. They're not selling all of their position. They've been buying positions all the way down here. Buy here. Now they'll start to sell, but they don't sell everything that they have down here. They're selling a little bit. Pops up, selling a little bit. Pops up, selling a little bit. Comes down, pops up, sells a little bit. They're selling their position until this right here. Then they buy here, buy. Okay, so right here on the monthly chart, it just, look, selling pressure. They're selling, and eventually what most likely is going to happen is bulls are going to get tired and then it's gonna come down to this range right here. And there's 340. And I think it's going to come down here just like about right there. Something like about right there. I'm conservative. Some people are calling for this spot right here. You know, the 300s, 320s. I'm not. Okay, but this is not a bear market. This is a bullish market. Not until it crosses over on the monthly I think it was the 50-month moving average, which we're not at right here. So everybody's like, Ron, you're so bearish. And it's like, this is a bearish move. We're bearish right now. But the overall market is still bullish. Here, I'll show you here real quick. So I'll put the 50-month moving average up. All right. There you go. Here's what, that's got to be 2008. Yep, 2008 dip. Bearish market right here. All right, then COVID. Bearish market very briefly. Why? Because it hit the -1 sigma. Comes back up. There's my trend line right here on the sigmas. So if you play it just strictly from a trend line, this would come all the way down to 278. That's not going to happen. What year is this? 2000. Ooh, that might happen. But I'm playing this from the sigmas. It's probably going to come to I'm playing this from the weekly chart, so that's where the sigma is on the weekly chart. So I think we're just coming down here. This is the average price, guys. Just the average price. When it's overextended, smart money sells. Sell until it gets down here. Then they buy, and then what I think is going to happen is it's just going to be a correction down, and then we're going to have a big short squeeze up, probably get up to the 500 area right here, this sigma, and then the recession's finally going to hit the market. It's hitting the economy right now. No, not really. Well, it's starting to, but when things really start to tighten, the banks start to really tighten. The credit starts to tighten. That's the sign of the recession, and it's really going to tank, and it's going to hit the market. So the recession's actually already going on, but it takes around a year and a half for it to hit the market. So this is going to be a big short squeeze up, and then the market's going to feel the recession, and then boom. That's what I think is going to happen. Oh boy. With that said, guys, I got to get running. So, yeah. I will talk to you all later. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you Monday. And with SPY options, ODTs, boy, just be careful, because this could really run either way right here. So that's it. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, Ronbo.
Yep.